The Nuggets won again. That's crazy. I mean, I know that they're a good team, but let's face it, the Nuggets are one of these teams where it's like it takes a big effort from their stars to win. And even though, yes, it feels like their stars perform every single time that they play, let's face it, it's not normal to see such consistent star power, especially from a team which, didn't even get the most wins in the NBA. I do believe that this team played phenomenally, especially in the fourth quarter when they took a big lead on the Lakers at the start of the quarter. Even though in the end it got close, they really kept the Lakers out of reach. But what I will say, and what I do believe is the most important thing to say, is for Denver at least, is shout out to Jamal Murray. Like, yes, I understand that Nikola Jokic did drop his usual triple double and he did have 3 steals, but he had 5 turnovers and 3 fouls. But I do believe that Jamal Murray, he had 3 turnovers, 4 steals, right? And he had 10 rebounds as a 6 foot guard. Not 6 foot playing, but like as a small guard. And he had 37 points and clutch buckets to win the game. I do believe that what did it for Denver this game was the Lakers. And I know that sounds weird, but I think that the Lakers underperforming in that way that they did actually made Denver win. I know that's a tough thing to say, but really the Lakers' deficiencies was what were allowed Denver. I do want to say that shout out to Aaron Gordon. He had a phenomenal, very efficient game. Michael Porter Jr., phenomenal, very efficient game. Even though this team had a lot of turnovers, and I mean like they had 15 turnovers as a team. I do believe that they played well. They shot efficiently from 3, and that's also another reason why they won the game. And that's what I want to get to, which is that, look, LeBron needs to stop shooting threes. And that's just a problem that I have with him, and that's just a knack that I have with him. I do believe that LeBron is one of the greatest players in the league. I do believe that he's awesome, and I do believe that he can win you a championship, right? And these are all things that he's proven that we've seen. But he is terrible at shooting threes, especially in the playoffs. Like, you have D'Angelo Russell on your team, Jared Vanderbilt, who can actually make a corner shot, Rui Hachimura, Dennis Schroeder, Lonnie Walker, and then you have, even if you want to go deep in the rotation, you have Malik Beasley and Austin Reeves, and you have all these guys who can actually make 3-pointers on a consistent basis, even if it's just from a corner. And then you want to be taking these ridiculous top of the key contested 3-pointer with 2 hands in your face, and that 3 could switch the game. It's like, I'm sorry, but what are you doing? And I believe that LeBron, what everyone expected is that the older that he got, right, and the more resilient that he got, the better his decision making would be, right? Because everyone thought, okay, he's going to get older, he's going to start passing more, which is true, as he almost had a triple-double with 10 assists. He was 1 rebound away from having a triple-double. But I do believe that it's just that even though, yes, the team was a +4 when he was on the floor. Him and Austin Reeves were the only starters who had a positive plus-minus. I do believe that he's been really bad, right? If you actually watch the games, he's been extremely inefficient when it comes to LeBron standards. And for a guy who's getting guarded by Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray, Jokic, you should be really beating these guys. And of course, a lot of people are going to say, what do you mean? But it's not even just because of, consistency. It's just because, these guys, they're either not stronger than you, not as fast as you, or they just can't guard you because of position-wise. I do also want to say that Anthony Davis had his regular bad game, but there is one hope for the Lakers, which I see right now, and it's that they looked good in these losses. Like they lost, but they were close losses. Now that could be something to marvel at, and that could also be something that you could take you. They could take you to the grave. But when you have these losses, which are like maybe 7 point or less losses, right? It creates a comfort, not a comfort that you might win, but a comfort of like, okay, we can do this, right? Like if Anthony Davis just would have been a bit better from the field, right? Just even shot 40%, right? Because he shot 4 for 15. If he would have shot 40%, or if LeBron just would have hit 1 3, that would have literally won them the game. Statistically, that would have won them the game. So in my opinion, what they have to focus on now is just how can we win these games? What is going wrong for them? I already said one thing, which was that they're extremely inconsistent offensively, right? And also that they have an extreme sense of like pride in themselves. Like the Lakers players, even though they're awesome and they play team basketball and they have great defense, I do believe that they've had a lot of problems with their decision making as a team, right? Like Anthony Davis took a 3 late in the fourth quarter. It could have been open. It could have been like no one could have been on the court. But in my opinion, if you're AD, then you go for the foul, right? I do believe that that's the biggest problem with the Lakers. Their decision making is really bad. Like when they have players who are hot, then LeBron will shoot a dumb 3. When Anthony Davis is absolutely cooking, they'll feed Rui Hachimura the ball, and it's like there's a clear read, and there are a few key points in which the Lakers need to improve. Apart from that, the Nuggets look awesome. I don't want to talk about them because they played a phenomenal game. The one thing I do want to say is that I want to say they found a way to make Jokic less effective, and I do believe that that can shape the series. Of course, Jokic is always going to have a lot of rebounds, a lot of points, and a lot of assists. That shows who he is, like because of his build, the patience in his game, how good of a passer he is, and just the overall way that he impacts a game. It is going to be much easier for Jokic to always be impactful in one way or another, which is one of the things which makes him such a great franchise player. But I do believe that they found a way to stop him. But I do believe that when you want to win, you have to take smart decisions. And I believe that these decisions start with your best players. And these best players are LeBron and Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, yes, he will have some bad games, and I guess we can excuse those because when he has good games, he looks like Shaquille O'Neal. But LeBron James cannot be excused. He has been playing like garbage for the past games. His decision making has been horrible, and honestly, if we're being truthful to ourselves, LeBron James takes really dumb shots in the clutch and has been the most unclutch player apart from Jason Tatum in these playoffs in the past round or two, right? And I just believe that that's a product of him just wanting the moment, wanting to take that big shot, wanting to do this, wanting to do that, and not looking at the reality of it. Like, you had a wide open layup after a steal. There are so many options there. You could lob, you could pass, you could swing it, you could just wait, restart the offensive play, and then he took a reverse layup, which was a good read, and then he airballed it, or he hit the back of the rim, and it didn't even bounce around. It just didn't. It literally just didn't. And in my opinion, how is your best player making the worst decisions on your team? LeBron James as a player, as a guy who his team looks to win championships through, and as the person who is tasked to lead the Lakers to the championship, needs to be playing better, making better decisions, and keeping a better record. These threes that he's shooting in the fourth quarter are unacceptable. These missed layups and dumb mid-rangers, which sometimes he takes, are unacceptable. And this just scoring and passing just enough so people can't tell you that you had a bad game, but doing just little enough to the point where you didn't get your team that win. In my opinion, LeBron James has looked extremely horrible in this round with the Nuggets, and he needs to be better as a franchise player and as one of the GOATs.